Hey everybody, it's Tara here with the Academy of Being, and today I want to talk to you about that place in between here and there that so many of us are looking for. How and when am I going to get to the there that I'm fully aware of, I'm desiring to be, and I don't know how, and I don't know when, and I would like the when to be as soon as possible, not far, far off in the future, and definitely not never. But so often when we're here, aware of there, we can shut down that far off place really quickly because we don't understand the how and when. And what I would like to say is that anxiety that you feel inside, hang with it, pause with it for a moment. Really, really this is where I would encourage you to do the Muse method. Like close your eyes, put your hands on, and just breathe life into your being. And then take another breath and ask for the universal support to come to you. Because if you're really wanting something that's there, that you don't have the capacity, like you feel it in your bones, like I don't have the capacity to get there. Like I don't know that. I don't know how. And if it's of my own effort, it's going to take a long time. So we need to breathe in the support, like really allow in the support of the universe. Because some of you that I'm talking to right now are much like myself, where you know your own capacities, you know you're a high achieving, like badass that's willing to like put all that's on the line, right? But sometimes you have dreams and desires that are greater than your capacities. And those dreams and desires are put inside of you by the universe. It specifically does it because it's saying, you know what? I want to show you what's possible when you're willing to ask and to deeply lean in. I want to connect you with experiences, people, places, things, anything that will expand your world beyond what you can do by yourself. But in order to do that, I put a dream inside of you. I put a desire, like this longing, and you're not supposed to shut it down with how and when. You're supposed to ask. And this is what you're supposed to ask. What can I do right now? What would contribute to that right now? And really sit and pause in that what. Because sometimes the what seems really illogical. So I'm going to share a little story with you here about a day that I woke up with really, really aching feet out of nowhere. And of course, like I went and I looked at I could do acupuncture, I could do acupressure, I could do massage, like all these things. And for some weird reason, everywhere that I called was closed. The weird reason has to be the universe, because that's just odd that all these places were closed. And this like still small voice inside of me said, go get a pedicure. Now, like you can see my hands, like I don't get manicures and pedicures all the time. Sometimes I do it, but at this point, I was at the very beginning of my entrepreneurial life, right? I was very early on. And so there wasn't any way that I was spending extravagantly. And at that time, that was an extravagance. And so I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And let's be real. If you're a woman and you've been to get a pedicure, they really don't massage your feet. That's going to take away the pain. But I got in my car and I listened and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. This is odd. It's so odd that I'm going to do it. And so I started driving to one I've been to before, and everything in me said, instead of take a left, take a right. I didn't even know there was one up there. I went to this one, and long story short, the person who was doing my pedicure asked me what I did for a business. And at the time, I did two parts of my business. So I was facilitating others in groups and private sessions, but I was also doing art. So I was doing custom art and doing art for myself and selling it. And he said to me, "Oh my gosh, the art piece, my best friend is a curator at a gallery and she's always looking for new artists. Would you be willing to be connected with her? She really needs some new artists." And I was like, yes, of course. And yes, of course, I walked away from that pedicure and my feet didn't hurt anymore. So being open to the universe as to the how and when means that you're willing to do things that are illogical in order to have your dreams and your desires manifested in ways that are greater than you could ever imagine. And what I would also say to you is every single time you have that judgmental voice that goes on inside, that anxiety bubbling up inside of you, pause, put your hands on. Like, this is like a personal embrace. Like, I tend to put my hands here because this is where my body, like, it has a letdown. And what I mean by that, it's like all that anxiety that's percolating up and like the tenseness, it just allows my body to relax into a state of calm. It allows my cortisol levels to go down, my vagus nerve to be calmed, like all of the things. And so find the sweet spot for you. And then I close my eyes. So I bring my eyes and my sight internal rather than always looking and searching for the answer outside of myself. It helps me to hear not only the universe and my muse, but my own internal voice. When I close my eyes, I sit in that space of hands on and breathe. It helps me to connect to the two voices that are most important, which is mine and the universe. Okay. So if you can cultivate that pause every single time that you feel anxious, you have negative thoughts, you start judging yourself, you start saying, "I'm just going to put the brakes on, I'm going to stop." And you pause and you say, "Thank you so much, body," because where you were going is called toxic independence. It's a place that you've been for way too long. And that's why your shoulders are weary, your body is tired, your mind is tired, and you're like just amped up. It's almost like you're a car where the brake is on and the gas pedal is on and you're spinning your wheels. And we need to stop doing that. We need to allow ourselves to be able to be catapulted forward, stop putting on the brakes on things and stop gunning it and allow in the support that we need. So when you are willing to pause, put your hands on, get connected to yourself, to your muse, to the universe, and then allow those things to catapult you forward, to inspire you forward, to muse you forward, miracles start to happen. But you might be in that win for a while. So the bridge over from here to there requires the universe, especially if it's an epic dream, an epic thing. The things that we can do all by ourselves, many times they don't bring up so much anxiety. I mean, sometimes they're bigger, and so it's still going to bring up some anxiety. But the really big things, the things that you're like, that seems impossible, that really is a dream. And then we can just go, well, it's a dream. I'm going to stop being a dreamer and I'm going to get into reality. But the people who are still listening to me, you're here not to succumb to reality. You're here to breathe life into your essence, into the dream that has been put inside of you. You're here to connect to the universe that has the capacity to bring all things together underneath your feet in order to carry you forward, to be your bridge to the other side. It helps, the universe helps that bridge to be shorter. So your when isn't so far off into the future, and the journey over it doesn't feel so treacherous. But from me to you, I know deeply those moments of, I don't have what it takes. And the more that I keep coming back to, thank God I don't have what it takes, because now I have the resource of the entire universe at my beck and call. And that has allowed me not to create a demanding relationship with the universe, but instead this really intimate communication and friendship and relationship with the universe that has allowed me to hear the universe more clearly. When you're just barking orders at it and not listening, it's not a relationship. It's putting the universe in servitude to you. And anybody who's in servitude eventually wants to get out, including the universe. Nobody wants to be the servant. All of us desire deep and meaningful, intimate relationship, especially with ourselves and the universe. That's where miracles are created. So if you have a dream, if you have a desire that's too big for you right now, you're being called to lean deeply into the universe. And instead of asking how and when, begin to ask, what small step are you asking me to take right now? What small step can I take that will contribute to the future? And then ask another time and another time. And then I would also ask yourself, what things have been showing up that the universe has been moving into my life? And have I been responding to all of those? Some of them might seem more logical. Like for me, there's times where the universe is like, hey, call this person. They might be interested in joining your certification. Call them, or call this person and ask them if they know anybody else who's looking to up-level their lives and be able to make money anywhere that they want and really change the lives of others with epic new tools. And so I listen and I have those conversations without expectation, because there's a lot of no's that come, but there's still a relationship that's cultivated in answering with the universe as well as those people. Because sometimes I'm just calling and I end up having a conversation that has nothing to do with what I initially called for. And I just find a friendship blossoms, and that is awesome. Or I find that that person needed me to call at that time. And I'm so glad the universe moved me to call. And then I don't ever bring up anything else. And then there's other times where I call just because I miss somebody, and it turns into a conversation where other things, business stuff is mentioned. So allow yourself to be moved by the universe. Allow yourself to really pay attention to how the universe is showing up for you, how it's prompting you, how it's bringing you different experiences, people, places, and things that could contribute if you're paying attention. Don't be so blinded by what's out here by putting your horse blinders on, right? The horse blinders are so that people can focus and go forward into the reality. But you're here not to move forward blinded by everything else. You're here to create a new reality for people. And that takes leaning in. It takes being scared. It takes being anxious and allowing the universe to move you anyway. Bravery doesn't start with bravery. Bravery starts with scared, plus inspired action, and then the willingness to take the action, and then you move into bravery. Most of us who do brave things don't feel brave first. The other piece I would say that I really like that helps me to step into things is acknowledging and celebrating the universe for all the ways it's carried me before, all the ways it's inspired me before, all the ways it's created miracles in my life when I was asking and when I was not. And the more that I do that recollection, the more I'm willing to lean in, because I know the universe is a trusted ally. So if you want a place to start, I would start writing down all the ways that the universe has supported you, whether you asked or not, in your life. That's a really great place to start. The second place I would say is to write down your dreams and desires. Thank the universe for putting those deep inside of you. Know that if the universe has put those deep inside of you, which it has, The universe is there to support you. Whether that's a relationship that you're like, this is an epic relationship. I don't even believe that I deserve it. But I'm willing to still ask for it. I'm willing to still become the person I want to be in that relationship I see in the future. Or a creation, or a project, or a business, or a family, or a vacation, whatever it is, allow yourself to lean deeply in so that the miracles can flow through you. So you can be an example to others. This is what it looks like to live leaning in to the universe, leaning in to yourself. One last thing, when you're doing the Muse method, it's really important to connect in with yourself. That's what it's all about. When we ground into the universe and to the earth, and we don't connect to ourselves, we bypass the self as we ground. So we don't want to bypass the self as we're grounding in. That's why we feel like there's a lot of blessings that are happening for everyone else and not us, because it's very important for us to connect in with ourselves and ask how every action, every choice, every desire that we make blesses everyone involved, including us. Okay? Everyone involved, including us. The everyone involved is up to the universe. It's not up to us. It is up to you to make sure that every action, every choice, every desire has you at the center of it. Otherwise, there's no way that your cup is going to overflow beautifully onto others. And then there's also no way that you're going to live a life that feels as meaningful and worthy of your spirit as you truly want to live. So thank you so much for showing up today. Please put your dreams and desires below. I would love to send energy and prayers towards them and ask the universe to walk beside you in your journey. Thanks again. Like and subscribe if you like this channel, but comments and all that are even more appreciated, because it's really all about relationships, and the communication between me and you is really precious to my heart. Thank you. Bye.